There is a heavyweight battle going on right now. Question is, who is going to get knocked out? For years in Port St Lucie, the number one 55 plus community has been Riverland. That's all the Valencias you see there. Valencia Cave, Valencia Park, Valencia Walk. But today, there is a whole new area, Port St. Lucie, just getting started, and it is giving Riverland, a run for their money. Let's start with the map. I'll show you what's going on, where this is, and you can see they're pretty much starting from scratch. So if you were to go into the map, Google Maps, to see, type in Sundance or Catalina Palms, you'll come up with this. And you see there is nothing around. It is in the middle of nowhere. Well, nowhere today. But Port St. Lucie is like one of the fastest growing cities in all of Florida. It is the sixth largest city in Florida today. I bet you didn't know that. It's growing leaps and bounds for things like this. So this is the larger community is called Sundance. This is Catalina Palms. As you can see, I'm going to zoom out. If you come off Route 95 and take Becker Road out here, this is what you get to. Let me tell you about what to expect here. When all is said and done, there are going to be 8,000 homes there. This first portion is called Catalina Palms. It's a 55 plus community, but not all of Sundance, which is the larger community, 8,000 homes, is going to be 55 plus. Catalina Palms is 1,300 homes approximately. That's how they're getting started. They're already starting to talk. I've heard some whisperings about the second community. I'm hearing that it's also going to be a 55 plus, but there's going to be more communities in the future. As you can tell from that map, it's in the middle of nowhere. The southern part of Port St. Lucie is not much there. They're just getting started. There's a community called Belterra that's sort of nearby. They were the original. That's another smaller builder that I love. A little bit more of a custom build. Earlier last year, their incentives were incredible. Like they were giving away free pools. If you want to know where the incentives are in any of these new construction communities, reach out to Living in Palm Beach, Florida. That is what we do. We are really good at comparing communities like we're going to do today, Riverland versus Catalina Palms. I usually save the number portion of these communities to the end, but I'm going to take it on right now because it's staring me right in the face. This is true with both communities. See that? No CDD fees. So both communities have no CDD fees. You might be asking, what is a CDD fee? I'd like to think we here at Living in Palm Beach, Florida. By the way, my name is Ray Fernandez. I'm with Living in Palm Beach, Florida, powered by EXP Luxury Homes. Welcome. I forgot to do that earlier, but here we are. So I like to think that we've talked to people. We've helped broach the topic and enlighten people, buyers, on what to expect. And they're asking the question because of us here at Living in Palm Beach, Florida. By the way, we do things like this all the time. Hit the subscribe button if you want to be kept up on new communities coming up. But what happens with a CDD is when a builder goes into an area, they take out a big loan and they just lift the ground and they clear everything and they spend a lot of money on the infrastructure. What some builders do a lot is they will take that bond, and as they're selling homes, they're passing that CDD on to you. Now, in some cases, the builder's not able to correct it. As an example, in Avenir, which is in Palm Beach Gardens, Florida, which is this past year was our number one community in terms of number of transactions. And that's because that's where the activity was. It's in the northern Palm Beach area, Palm Beach County area. The city of Palm Beach Gardens would not allow them to structure it so that they would be allowed to buy out the CDD. They were able to buy a portion out, but In any event, there it's about, in some communities there, it's $5,500 a year. It's not part of your HOA, but it's hidden sort of in your taxes. I look for builders that have no CDDs lots of times. You just want to know. Geo Homes is where Riverland is. They have a habit, I should say habit, or they have a stance where they, if they can, they will buy the CDD out. They've done it in Valencia Grande, that's down in Boynton Beach. They've done it in Lotus Edge. They've done it in Apex of Avenir. And they're doing it in Riverland. No, also the new community, Catalina Palms, same thing. Builders there is a Cal. Cal couldn't do it in Avenir, but they're doing it in Catalina Palms. So they're not, instead of passing it on to you, the buyer, they are paying it out of their pocket. They spent all that money on infrastructure and they're just selling homes. It's very clean. I love that. You should too. So here's the thing. You're gonna before Catalina Palms, Riverland's really only, well, they've had some competition. They have Del Webb right there. They have who else is there? Talaro's over there. They have Four Seasons. We've done videos on all these people. So reach out, go to the channel and look at search some of these. Now, some of these videos might not be up anymore, but of course, reach out to our team. We can compare the different communities. Before Catalina Palms, their biggest competition was a non-55 plus community, but it trends a little bit older, which is PGA Verano. A builder there is Coulter. That was their biggest competition. But now that Catalina Palms is there, like I said before, there's going to be a battle. And I could just sense that they're a little bit worried because it directly competes with them. I went, and I'll tell you, I went to their opening. They just opened literally about a month ago, not even. And I was there the day before with buyers, and I was there even before that. And they were selling some lots or reserving some lots, and they were flying off the chart. Here is how well you can see that. No CDD, you see that bit nice and big in the bottom there. But I'll see if I can bring some of this online. They basically have a few collections here. They have gold, emerald, ruby, sapphire. They have diamond. I am finding that Catalina Palms, they're selling right now at the really low and at the really high. And I'm going to tell you why. Let me see if I can bring that up and I'll go through some of that, go through some of the reasonings for this. So here it is online. And you can see gold, emerald, ruby, sapphire, diamond. I did my video on the first one, the Catalina Palms, on the diamond because I love high end. We are a new home co-broker with DXP Luxury Homes. So we do a lot in the high end, but the low end is attracting a certain kind of buyer, and I'm going to tell you about that in a sec. Here's the high end, diamond. It starts in the low 700,000s. That's going up because they already had their first price increase. Here too, gold is their low one, starting in the low 300s. That's approaching 400 now. As they, like you guys, I tell you guys, the best time to get any new construction communities in the beginning, and this is way early. Reach out for us for that Zoom. We're going to talk more about a Zoom later. Let us help you get in on these deals. But the reason why they go for the gold, and you can go, they name this after like wine. Merlot, Rosé, Blanc, and Noir, Pinot Noir. And you can see they have 319, 309. They're about ready to go to 333 on this one. These are sort of like attached villas. And they're what they're attracting are snowbirds. Let me tell you about that. There's a similar product over at Riverland. So this compares to both. So they have villas at Riverland. Here, I got the Riverland thing here too. So listen, guys, if you want this stuff, you let me know. I can get this stuff to you. They have the villas at Riverland. Let me see if I can grab that out. They actually call them here luxury. Let's see if you can see that. Luxury club villas. And they're like the lowest one is 341,000. So they're competing with that gold thing, with that gold thing in Catalina Palms. They're for snowbirds. These are like very high maintenance, meaning that they're taking care of it for you. The HOA is higher there because they do things like painting of the house, power washing of the house, landscaping. They all have landscaping taken care of. But they want it so that you can just leave and you forget about it. And that's what snowbirds are generally like. You guys are snowbirds. What's a snowbird, in case you don't know? Snowbird are people that come to Florida here, South Florida, and they stay basically from any part of, let's call it November through about April, maybe May. Oftentimes people just spend January, February, maybe January, February, March. March, in my opinion, you guys who've watched the channel know this, is, in my opinion, the best month here in Florida. You have spring training. Right nearby in Port St Lucie, you have the New York Mets spring training, home of the New York Metropolitans baseball team. Um, Down below is in West Palm Beach. You have in Palm Beach County and in West Palm Beach, you have the home of the Washington Nationals and the Florida, not the Florida Marlins, the Washington Nationals, the Houston Astros. Up in Jupiter, Florida, which is also in Palm Beach County, you have the St. Louis Cardinals and you have the Florida Marlins. It's a lot there. So people come down here during March for spring break, and it's a lot of fun. I love going to the games. But the snowbirds, no, they're gonna go for those things. You could spend, literally all in, let's call it upper threes, and you can have a home here in Florida. How cool is that? See, let me tell you something. My story, those who watch channel know this. 20 years ago, and I say this to some form every week. 20 years ago, my family and I relocated to this beautiful part of the world we call South Florida. Now, we've done what you've done. That's why people reach out to us. That's why we are the number one relocation team here in Florida, is because we've experienced it. We know the different communities very well. We're unbiased because we don't represent these builders. We'll go between the build. We'll go for the best situation for you. So again, we haven't looked back, my family and I. So if you want to ask questions from people who've actually done this before, and I take the Zoom myself. There's a couple of ways to get a hold of me, a couple of ways to get a hold of our team, and I will take care of you personally. Down below is our email address. That's one great way. Also on the screen is our phone number. You can either call or text that number. But literally two of the best ways, and this is really popular way to get in touch with us, is that Zoom. In the description, the comment section, click on that link. That's how you get the Zoom. Whichever way you feel, you can make it a phone call or a Zoom, whatever way you feel most comfortable. In any case, we have your back when it comes to relocating here to sunny South Florida. By the way, I'll do my independent representation here. If you walk into the sales center on your own, you're absolutely crazy. More on that later. We represent you better than the builder will represent you. Trust me. So why do people look at these things? This is it right here. You look at the Catalina thing they gave us. This is about lifestyle. Now, this is apparently very apparent in Riverland. Now, I've in the past, and I think I've heard people talking about it, and I promise you, I was the first one to say this. It's the Disneyland of the 55 plus. It really is. The amenity center, I'm going to go in a second to their site to go through a couple things. The amenity center is just incredible. You can and I've used this term before too, is you're acting as if you are living 7 Saturdays a week, every day is Saturday. So they have a paseo. Let me bring it up now, and I'll show you some of the stuff. So here you have, and this is on their website. They're currently selling, and I'll go to the different parts here at Riverland that they're doing, but right now they're selling Valencia Park. And they have something else new coming up I'm going to tell you about in a minute. But I love the paseos. If you see here on the left, I love the paseos. You can walk your golf cart. This is an extremely golf cart friendly community. Now, they'll tell you at Catalina Palms, the fight's on, they'll tell you that they're golf cart friendly too. But the truth is, that remains to be seen. Riverland is there already. Riverland is doing it. You can take the Paseo, and we'll go over to this map here. In between, if you have a friend here let me move my head. If you have a friend here in Valencia Cay, you can take the Paseo, which are these dotted paths there. Valencia Walk is one of the smaller of the bunches there, and also it's probably one of the more high end. There, you can take it there. Valencia Park is where they're selling now. There's a new community coming up, but the Paseo, you can take this anywhere. They have a wellness back to the side here, a sports and racket club. If you're into pickleball, my God, this is the most elaborate pickleball area that I've seen. Competition galore, open play and reserve play, and you name it. Very organized. They've had some really organized competitions, tournaments there. They have a wellness center here, a wellness with the gym. They're expanding on this. It says here 51,000 feet. That might be after they add. Coming soon, they have a spa and a nail salon. Arts and Cultural Center. I'll tell you about that. I gotta go to this full screen for this. The Arts and Cultural Center is amazing. They've got everything there, but my favorite, I don't know, maybe it's because I'm biased and I like it. But I think you might too. They have a cooking demo. They have a cooking kitchen there. The way it works is you walk in, you sign up for your class. They have big TVs on top. You sit back in your class. The renowned chefs, teachers, will teach you what they're doing. They have dishes. You pay for them, of course, because it's just food you're eating, but they teach you how to cook. It's amazing. It actually gets booked up. It's very popular. It actually gets booked up pretty quickly. So get in early. But it's one of the things that they have there. I just had to tell you a little bit more about that. But continuing, the Arts and Cultural Center is just one of the best. They have city parks. When they take over an area, the builder, they pretty much pledge some land back. That's what GL Homes, the builder, did here. So they have parks up there. They have a softball field where they have leagues. I mean, how good is that? You can see that there. They have the Riverland Town Center, and I'm going to go tell you about this, and then I'm going to go to Catalina Palms for a sec. Right next to Riverland in the Valencia Park, and then the new one coming up, which I'm going to tell you about, is Publix and the town center. Publix is open. It's an amazing town, amazing Publix there. But for those who are out of towns who don't know what Publix is, in Florida here and in some other parts of this region, it is the supermarket. It is like the supermarket here in South Florida that people use. We have others. We have like Winn-Dixie and we have Albertsons, but Publix by far, it's a privately held company. It's not a public company. Is by far the number one and probably the best from a reputation standpoint. Number one grocery store in the area, very well regarded. And they have the town center there. You can take your golf cart from your house to the town center. There are restaurants there. The town center is just getting started. So you want in on the ground floor, now's the time for Riverland. Let's go to Catalina Palms. By the way, stick around later for the stay and play. If you want to stay, if you're out of town and you want to visit these places for like $100 for a couple of nights, and you get to stay on the property and experience the community and see if it's a fit for you. There's a program called Stay and Play, and I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. They do it in Riverland. They do it in another community as well, down in a little bit further south. I'll tell you about that. But here we go back to Catalina Palms. I want to go to their diamond collection. These are nice homes. I'm going to go right to some of the biggest. I went to the Santa Barbara is one of my favorites. Let me go there. It's not the biggest, but it is. I just love this thing. So they have different elevations. They have an included one. They have a coastal, which is a $15,000 upgrade, and a contemporary, also a $15,000 upgrade. You could see here they've got three garages. That's your golf cart garage there. There's your floor plan. All these are one stories. You notice that? We know that you guys, a lot of 55 plus people are 55 plus are one story fans. Rare is it that you see two stories. You do have them in some places. Reach out if that's you. I can help guide you where you can get the two-story 55 plus homes. But here's your floor plan. Um, in general, there's these floor plans are very open. I mean, I know this is just not doing this justice. When I was there, I filmed the video when they first opened. It's that video right there, and you could check it out after this. After you're done through with this one, check that out. They're these are the. It's one thing to see them online, websites, and floor plans. It's a whole nother thing to see them in person. That video will help you visualize what they have going on there. That first weekend, I was seeing people just taking lots off the market. I want this, I want that, and people were asking for it. Now it's here we are a couple weeks later. It's definitely slowed, but it's still very it's the new kid on the block. So they're back to the amenities perspective of it. Here's the Catalina Palms amenity perspective. I'm going to read some of this stuff off. You have resort style pools, cabanas, pickleball, and tennis. Now, again, I've seen renditions of what to expect, but Riverland, it's there. You know what I'm saying? Do the stay and play. The Riverland, it's there. Fine dining. So if you want to like go to the clubhouse and dine on premises, you could do it. Pool bar, social hall. They also have a health and wellness center, just like Riverland. Spa and salon, art studio, a demo kitchen. I wonder where they got that idea from. So they have some of the same thing. It's again they say no CDD, and they're giving you an idea. The floor plans go from 1,300 square feet to 3,400 square feet, starting in the 300s. We know that. It's gonna, like I said, it's significant competition to Riverland. Now I'm going to talk about that stay and play. So we get a lot of people and do it through us. The best way to get representation for you is through us. Don't go through the sales center on your own. Let us represent you. There's no cost for you using us. The cost to you out of pocket is zero. It's the builder that pays, it's the builders that pay us, and they're happy to do so. You can ask them. Not just that, we have no bias between which place you go. GL is gonna tell you they're the best, and Akel Homes is gonna tell you they're the best. We're gonna figure out what's best for you. Maybe Tolaro is better for you. Maybe Four Seasons by K. Ovanian is better for you. I don't know, but we'll see once we get to know you. Sign up for that Zoom. I can help guide that process. But go through this stay and play as you guys come. Let me show you on the website. I bookmarked it, and I'll show you on the website and explain a little bit more how that works. So 3 days, 2 nights, $99. Cheaper than a hotel. I mean, I don't know what hotels cost near you, but it's definitely a lot cheaper than the hotels here. Now, Riverland does this. This is GL Homes, the builders offering it. They also do it down in Valencia Grand and Valencia. They're now selling, this says Valencia Grand, but that's dated. It's really Valencia Del Mar in Boynton Beach near Delray Beach, Florida, in Palm Beach. We handle a lot of stuff there too, so bear that in mind. So this is, you will basically, you will get an itinerary, and I will be there with you. I'll tell you how that works. You will be there for those 3 days, 2 nights. There'll be a short period where they're going to show you around, and it's not like a timeshare where you have to sit through a presentation like this. It's not like that. We actually go and look at the amenities with a guide. That is, I mean, it's better to do it this way than on your own. You get to see more. And we arrange it so that I'll be there with you because I can give you this is what you should look at, this is what you look at, give you the unbiased guidance on this. Come through us. I can help set that up. You know, with the right person, right consultant. and then and do it that way. It is a great way to live on in the community. You're literally in the community for a couple nights, and you see what it's like. I mean, it's like a no risk. I mean, you can't go wrong on that next community at Riverland. I don't want to forget because I know I mentioned this. They started with Valencia Cave, Valencia Grove, Valencia Walk, Valencia Park. The next one's going to be their biggest in terms of number of homes. It's going to be about 2,000 and even higher than 2,000. They don't have a name yet. I don't even know if it's going to be called Valencia. It will be a 55 plus. I was part of the focus group. Probably only a few of us, like about five realtors that they reached out to, the people that do a lot of business, people that do a lot of relocation. Well, I was really the number one relocation person, but people that do a lot of business in the community and got our opinion on where the trends are. As an example, I told them, and this is true, when people are looking at elevations, people are generally speaking looking at modern. They're getting away from Mediterranean and they're going towards modern. And when we looked at the elevations, we gave them our opinions, and they know that they got the feedback. What's important. How important are the counters, and we gave them the feedback. So I saw the renditions of what they're looking to do for the next community. It's going to be amazing. There's going to be some changes to what they have now in terms of the homes and the style and whatnot. It's not open yet, so we can't go there yet. They're still selling Valencia Park, but Valencia Park is getting now towards the end. You got some great deals in there. If you want to get a great deal in a premier 55 plus community, you don't. To now is the time. They will probably raise prices when they announce this new community. They always do. Each community, just like Catalina Palms over by Akel in Sundance, they have their own clubhouse, and it's specific to you. If you're in Valencia Walk, you can't use Valencia Park or the new one or Valencia K. You have your own. You do share the sports complex. It is complex. I know it's a little complex, but I can help guide you to this stuff and give you an idea and point you in the direction. Port St Lucie is a mecca for new construction. There's a lot going on there. Let me help you. Maybe PGA Verano is for you. Astor Creek, one of the best golf communities in Port St Lucie. That's it. We've done business there. We just did one recently. There's a lot there. That's probably the highest end in Port St Lucie. If you like, that's a membership community. If you like membership communities, another one called Tesoro Club, which is also high end. Mattamy has a lot of preference, a big presence there. They started that whole tradition, is Tradition Square. You want to know, are you in tradition or are you not in tradition? If you're in Riverland, you're not in tradition. As an example, there's a fee to be in tradition, but it gets you stuff. Reach out to our team if you want to know more about that. But Port St. Lucie is a unique city. It is, again, the sixth largest city in Florida now. It's one of the fastest growing, and there's just so much going on because the prices are lower. If these prices that we're talking about are lower than what the equivalent is in Palm Beach County, just a little bit south, let's call it 40 minutes south. So that's why people are turning to Port St. Lucie when they're looking at moving to Florida, enjoying the life that you do deserve. Great weather, great lifestyle, a very favorable business environment, which is why prices haven't been going down in here in this area. So you got everything. It's like the perfect storm when it comes to whether it's 55 plus, new construction, or just living. Catalina Palms, Riverland, Port St. Lucie, paradise here in South Florida.